All right, as we hit the top of the hour, it's time to turn to Monmouth and head coach Kevin Callahan. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mark. How are we doing today?
We're doing fine. Hope you're doing well.
I am, thank you.
Hawks went down to Coastal Carolina and faced the number one team. Now you're at home to close out the year against Gardner-Webb. If you can talk about the game against Chanticleers and then give us your thoughts on the Ronin Bulldogs, we'll go to questions.
Well, sure. I think everyone knows, Coastal Carolina has a fine football team. They've got an awful lot of weapons on the offensive side, and I think their coaching staff does a great job of putting those players in position to make plays. And we just couldn't seem to slow them down at all. They started the game with a very efficient touchdown drive where they put the ball in the end zone, and they kind of had us on our heels a little bit, and we never really got into a groove where we were able to get those stops and get our defense off the field. And on the offensive side, we made a few plays on the day, but in the end, we really weren't able to sustain much. Too often we were behind the chains and put ourselves in, or they put us in, or we put ourselves in long yardage situations. That made it extremely difficult for us to make first downs and keep it going. And I thought they did a fine job. They're an excellent football team. Their coaching staff does a great job, and it was kind of a one-sided victory on Saturday.
All right,
in terms of Gardner-Webb, I think what we see this week is a team in many ways similar to what we are. There are two teams going into the final week of the season. Both teams are looking for their first conference win. And when I look at Gardner-Webb, I see a team that has good balance. They play tough physical defense. They really, I think, get to the ball very well, and they have a physical style about them, make it difficult to run the ball. And on offense, they've got a good combination with a very good receiver. They're good at the tight end position. The quarterback does a very good job finding receivers and throwing the ball and putting it on people. And they've got a couple of very good running backs as well. So, we know again this week, as we have every week in the conference, we've got our work cut out for us, and we're going to have to come out and play a very, very good football game.
All right, this time we'll start taking questions for Monmouth head coach Kevin Callahan. To ask a question, please press *1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser and click raise hand if you joined us via the web. Questions for Monmouth head coach Kevin Callahan. Hey, Coach, first question for you is from Josh Newman of the Asbury Park Press.
Good morning, Josh.
Morning, Cal. How are you?
Good, thank you.
How about the job that Greg DePuy did on Saturday? Obviously, Brandon couldn't go, and Greg kind of stepped in there, under some tough start to face on the road against the number one team. How about the job he did on Saturday?
Well, I was fairly happy with the way Greg went in and performed. That's his first time that he's really seen any significant action in the game. Previous to that, he's had a few plays here and there, and a year ago he might have finished up some games, but this was the first game he had to go from start to finish, and I think for the most part he did a good job. I think we put him in a difficult situation playing against an excellent defense, a defense that's very quick and has a great deal of team speed, and brings a lot of pressure. And I thought there were some things obviously Greg would like to have back, and some throws he made he would like to have another opportunity to make those. But overall, big picture, full body of work, I thought he did an adequate job.
And just one more, with the season finale here against Gardner-Webb, are you of the belief that, a good showing Saturday to close the season can kind of build some momentum going into the off-season and going into 2015?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, we want to make sure that we're playing as good a football game as we can, and we'd like to feel that we've got our best game in front of us, and hopefully that's this Saturday. As we've gone through this season, in particular the Big South Conference schedule, I think there's been a lot of bright spots, but there's also some areas where we need to get a lot better, and I think we've worked on those things each and every week, and hopefully we've made some progress as we've moved forward, and hopefully this week is another week in which we make that progress.
Thanks, Cal. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Josh. Hey, Coach, next question for you is from Jeremy Schilling of NewJerseyNewsroom.com.
Hey, Jeremy.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good, thank you.
First of all, just to quickly piggyback on Josh's question, who is the starting quarterback this week, do you think?
Well, right now, I mean, Greg Depew would be the guy, but it looks like Brandon Hill is making some progress. He was able to do some things today at practice where, last week he wasn't able to practice at all. So we're progressing, and, I'm optimistic. I would like to think that, by the end of the week, he'll be doing enough where he could play on Saturday.
Thanks. And then secondly, and actually first, I just want to thank Mark for holding these conference calls every week. So thank you, Mark, for all your hard work during the season. And Coach, something that I see in every single release that Mark has put out has been all of the awards that Mike Basile has been nominated for week after week after week. Did you guys expect as a coaching staff that Mike would play this way starting out freshman this season?
Well, I don't think we put that type of expectation on him, nor would we on any true freshman. We had a strong belief that he was a good player and that he was going to make a positive contribution to our football team. And, just how soon a freshman is able to make that contribution is really an unknown. And, we're very happy with the way he's progressed. He seemed to pick things up right away. And he's done some very good things for us. So I think it's been a valuable year for Mike. It's been a great learning year for him. He's a very competitive kid, and I know he's going to continue to improve. So we're very happy with what he's done. But as far as expecting him to do all these things, back in the middle of the summer, I would have to say no, we didn't have that high of expectation for him.
And thanks again, Mark.
Thanks, Jeremy. We're still have time for a couple more questions for Kevin Callahan. Again, press star 1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser and click raise hand if you joined us via the web. Coach, I've got one question for you. Gardner-Webb has a similar quarterback-receiver duo as you do between Brandon Hill and Neil Sterling. Gardner-Webb has Lucas Beatty and Kenny Cook. Just your impressions on them from what you've seen this year and how they compare to your guys and then their differences as well.
Yeah, I think they, as a receiver, Cook is excellent, and I think he compares very favorably, or Sterling compares very favorably to him, I should say. He's a talented guy. He's certainly a guy that they target in their pass game quite a bit. And as I said earlier, I think the quarterback has shown the ability to put the ball on people, and he's very consistent in doing that. And between the two of them, they have a big play capability.
All right, Coach, I'm not seeing any more questions for you. We'll go let you go, but I thank you for your time all season long, and good luck Saturday in the finale.
Mark, thank you very much, and I also want to thank the conference office for facilitating this weekly call and all that you guys are doing for promoting Big South Conference football.
Well, thank you, Coach, and obviously we've been thrilled with your time as members this first year, and obviously wish you all the best moving forward.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Coach.